T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game, not a game.
Me. Bam. Me, man.
Not a game.
Slap that place, she scored 30.
What are we even talking about, man? We talking about sports here.
Yo.
What's up, fellas?
Week one's
That
in the
intro
books.
gets me every time, bro. Who's the guy on the intro? What professional did you guys go get to do your
Action
intro?
Bronson. His name's Action Bronson, Ron.
Nah, he was talking about yours.
Otherwise
We
known
talking
as
about
Ben
sports
Diaz,
overlay right there.
Justin.
Fun fact on that intro, Ron. Me and Ben worked on that for a day to get that going.
It was hilarious, me yelling into my phone and then sending it to Justin, bro. I remember we were trying to get it up for like a Thursday episode, a little later one. So I was at work. I was like, nah, I can do it at work. I'll just do it here. And I was just there at work yelling into my iPhone, sending it to Justin.
We talking about sports, baby.
Yeah.
We had a
for
few
the brand.
takes, but eventually we got it down.
Anything for the brand.
Yes, sir.
Facts.
Well, hey, this is a We Talking About Sports podcast. We're here for our Thursday night live show. We said we're going to be doing this, as kind of like a little way to recap Sunday and, talk about the Thursday night game here with you guys on Facebook, YouTube, and where are we on Twitter as well? It's streaming through Periscope.
Periscope as well.
So if you guys have comments, go ahead and shoot them in, and we'll get to them throughout the podcast, and find a way to interact with you guys. But first and foremost, you guys, what was your scene like on Sunday? Justin, how'd you watch the games, man? Were you watching it behind a big 80-screen TV, 80-foot screen, 80-inch screen TV?
Projector. I'm sure Justin has a
Yeah, we have a 75-inch screen, and thankfully,
That was close.
yeah, I got a .edu email still, so I was able to get Sunday Ticket University. It's a lot cheaper. It's comes out to like $100, and there's a promo code going on. So we were there flipping through all the games. But yeah, week one in the books. It's a good time, man. I love football season. It's the best.
Oh, yeah, and then we got Thursday night football.
for sure. Ron, what were you up to Sunday? Where'd you watch the games, bro?
Fuck
We
y'all.
missed you. We missed you on Sunday.
I was gonna screenshot and tell Justin to put up this text, and it's a text it's rolling. He says, "Hey pal, are we gonna be able to count on you for Sundays?" And I said something like, "Hell yeah!" And he's like, "All right." And then boom, first Sunday just fucking gone.
No call, no show, Rob, baby.
No, my favorite part, Ron.
Add
My
that
favorite
to-
part is that Ben says, I might not make it. I have something with my family. And you're like, I'm going to be at the island. I'm going to be potting. What's your excuse?
He's like, bro, I'm potting from the island. What's your excuse? Nah.
Dude, I was like, hell yeah, Ron's going to go hard.
Did you watch any football, Ron? Did you get to
Yeah,
watch
man. We stayed there till 6 till the 2:00 games finished and
nice.
saw the Saints game. We're just fucking the shock. We got shocked there with the Saints game, the 3:00 game. And all that time we were watching the fucking Saints and Packers. We didn't know that the Chiefs and the Chiefs game and Browns was going on CBS, man.
You're
So
Browns, bro.
I know we were watching the wrong game, but that's
We're
how
going
it
to
is.
go for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we didn't wake up till like 2:30, so we caught the 3:00 games. And just but there at the condo with the windows open, it felt like I was DJ Khaled in Miami.
Nice.
Shit, I had a little 2 TV setup over here. Roland was able to make his way over here after we did the live show on Sunday. Joey was over here. Alex was over here from Austin. We
Sounds
cooked
good.
out 8. Yeah, watched some football, and man, there was some crazy. Yeah, we're all together using all of our brains, and we were able to catch the Eagles live, and we all. That was a pretty easy win. So I know we're going to talk about some of the games, so we'll save that for that. But yeah, it was a good opening Sunday.
Yeah, man. Definitely glad to have, like you said, Ben, the 2-screen setup going. You got Chris Hansen, Red Zone on one screen, and, you got another game going on, and like
We're
Justin
watching the
said, you got
Bills
that-
and Steelers.
Yeah, Bills and Steelers. One of the games that was probably a surprise to most people, with the Steelers coming away with the upset. And let's just get into week 1 and some of the games around the league. Because, we prepped you guys for the games on Sunday. And if you guys joined us on live last Sunday, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for joining in. And we're going to do the same thing again this Sunday. But just to go ahead and just do a little recap, let's see here. The Eagles, we just got done talking about them. They blew out the Falcons 32-6. Another score around the league. Let's see here. The Seahawks took care of the Colts 28-16. The Chargers, they beat the Washington football team. One of my picks for the pick'em this past week in the against the spread little contest that we have going on, which we'll talk about later. They took down the Washington football team, which I thought was pretty easily done after Ryan Fitzpatrick went down. But you guys, out of the games that you guys watched, was there anything that caught your attention out there? Was there a big surprise week 1 that you guys can already point to?
Well, I think we should let Ben get that one since his team was one of the teams we favored. No, it's just
first
let's
game
lead
with
off with
the
that.
Good.
First game with the
Yeah.
new team.
Justin coming out throwing bombs.
Yeah,
No, it's not that at all. I'll
Justin
surprise.
pretty much saying ladies first, right? That's pretty much what he
No.
said. No, but I think that everybody had the Bills winning that game against the Steelers, and it did come to a surprise. Shit, the Bills were dominating up 10-0 early. The Steelers offense. Big Ben still looks like the same Big Ben that he was last year. I still think that there's question marks there. But the defense showed up, man, and J.J. Watt was able to get that hit on Josh Allen, even causing the fumble. And after that, T.J. Watt. And after that, he was rattled. It seemed like Josh Allen missed some throws that he should have had, and then it came down to a block punt on special teams. So it was a grind-out game. I don't think that – you don't lose too much faith in losing like that. You know what I mean? I expect them to bounce back this coming week against the Dolphins, but I thought that it was a takeaway just because it was one of the uglier games on Sunday. The Bills were minus 300 favorites to win. They were, 6-7 point favorites? A touchdown.
6-point favorites, 6.5.
Yeah, ended up losing. But for the Steelers, man, the defense is for real. The defense is still for real. Nothing changed there, but Big Ben had the least amount of time to throw than any other quarterback in week 1, which was 2.3 seconds after saying hut. So the O-line still is a problem who faces, but they were able to win ugly, and I think that's what it's going to take for the Steelers this year. And the good thing is they have the defense to win ugly.
Yeah, the Steelers, they're going to have to rely a lot on the quick pass game, and hopefully they get a lot of support from Najee Harris because, like you said, Ben, that O-line is not anything to be impressed with at least through this point in the season. And excuse me, before we go any further with this Thursday night run-through, excuse me, guys, because, we talked about this in pre-pod, and, I went a little rogue here. I think I just got a little excited. Whenever we were talking about the games, whenever we were talking about these games, I get excited. I just want to get straight to the breakdown, run through these games and, start talking about the bets and stuff. So excuse me, but without further ado, I got to give a shout out to Justin and Ron on this one for coming.
It's all Ron.
With this new video, but for our Thursday night breakdowns, we're going to be running with this little video here. So you guys get used to hearing the sound. We're going to do a little intro.
There we go.
Ron shows a pretty sick beat too, man. It slaps.
It's a little flavor. It's a little flavor before we get into what happened the previous week. I like it.
Yeah,
Ron was talking about DJ Khaled, so I'm sure he was in the studio putting that beat together. So I like that. And
nice.
Ron,
it's gonna be the new. It's gonna be the new Sports Center. How everybody hums a little Sports Center thing. Now everybody's gonna be dum dum dum.
It's not gonna be
Nah, it's gonna be dum. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but Ron, I was gonna say, you get back. Oh, excuse me, I'm tripping over myself. But you're the guy who put that video together. What was your big takeaway on Sunday out of the games that you got to watch?
Yeah, like going back to when we were doing the divisions. I said it, boy. The Cleveland Browns are for real. I said it. Everybody's like, why'd you? I even put Baker in my top 10 on QBs and all that stuff, man. So that was it. It was a surprise, but it wasn't that much a surprise. They should have beat the Chiefs. They did have a little meltdown at the end, but that was the biggest surprise. That I said that the Browns are for real this year.
That's why he doesn't belong in the top 10.
Because
No.
he was trying to throw it out of bounds.
Punter, though. I think it was the punter who messed it up for them also.
Yeah. The punter, too. I mean, and then he could have just kicked it. He could have picked it up and kicked it again.
The Bills punter messed it up, too. The Bills punter messed it up, too. Come on, man.
That was
Baker threw the pick. Baker threw the pick. But
he was trying to throw it out of bounds.
What I'll ask y'all, two teams that lost, I would say rather impressively. Who had the more impressive loss, the Cowboys or the Browns?
I think you got to go Cowboys because it's the champs.
Yeah. Cowboys, easy. Yeah, because
then three Cowboys fans.
No, but
what'd you expect?
But the Chiefs
easy
do
answer.
what they're supposed to do. Like the Chiefs were supposed to, and the line was a lot more favored in the Chiefs game.
And I will say though, Ron said with the punter, and Ben said also, the Browns played a great game.
Yeah, dude.
It's a deflating loss to still lose that way, and Baker did. I think he was still trying to throw it out of bounds. I just don't think he had enough power in him at that point to get it all the way there. Still take the sack though in that situation. But the Browns, they can compete, and they're having me think twice about my AFC North bet here, or at least who I think is going to win the AFC North between them and the Ravens.
Absolutely, they were looking really good. Better than the Ravens did Monday night.
They're a solid all-around team. At this point, you got to even wonder if they need OBJ to come back, although I'm sure he's going to be an addition once he gets there, but it doesn't seem to matter.
Who's going to have a better year, Mike Thomas or OBJ? Because I'm out on OBJ, bro. I think I'm completely out on OBJ. I mean, when was the last time he was good? We know Mike Thomas isn't coming back. He's out 6 weeks on the pup list. Who's going to be better, Mike Thomas or OBJ? Who's going to have better numbers at the end of the year? What would y'all say? Or do y'all still believe in OBJ? I think the Browns need to put that in the back seat.
I'll take Mike Thomas.
I already said they need to trade him at this point. Find some kind of value for him on name recognition alone and get him out of there. There's no need to keep him on.
Shit, with the way that fucking Jameis Winston played last Sunday, Michael Thomas all day.
And Jameis was slinging it. Saludos, Bulls. Saludos.
The thing is, Jameis only had like 180 yards passing though.
Yeah, but he was dropping dimes too.
He had that one bomb.
You saw that little shoulder pass?
Hey, Bulls in the chat, yo, and what's in the cup? I think we got to go with that right now.
Every time Bulls here, what's in the cup?
Corona premiere for me tonight, boys.
I got my tequila. This is why I didn't pot on Sunday.
Okay,
tequila right here with a little OJ
seltzer.
Well, Ron, you didn't finish it. I don't know why you didn't make it to the pod if you still have leftovers.
That's all I needed. So what do we got next?
And I was just gonna ask Justin, what was your big surprise week one, man?
Man, my big surprise again was the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, man, 2 interceptions off 133 yards, coming off an MVP season. That didn't look like Aaron Rodgers out there. I drafted Aaron Rodgers in fantasy league, and I was relying on him for the most part to give me that space, that cushion I needed.
Yes.
He didn't provide it. So then all I needed was Mark Andrews to get under 10 points. Thankfully, Lamar Jackson is not a competent thrower of the ball, and I was able to survive in fantasy this week. But biggest takeaway was how bad the Packers were and how good Jameis looked on Sunday managing the ball.
Jameis with the LASIK.
Yeah, 30 tutties. I was a fool, remember, for having him in my top 10 the year before.
Hey,
I'm going to be vindicated this season.
A little bit of vindication. I like it. And hey, he even got Drew Brees to say that he might have been what the Saints have been missing the past few years. Him and the deep ball. Jameis Winston.
Politically correct.
Dude, I thought that Sean Payton did a really good job. I mean, he didn't throw. He had 150, 160 yards with 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He put him in really good positions, and I think that's what Jameis needed. When he was with the Bucs, Bruce Arians is that aired out coach. I mean, it's pass. Here, Sean Payton schemed it up really well, and I think if he just limits his turnovers, man, the Saints really have a shot.
Yeah, I like the Saints to compete with the Bucks. I don't know if they're going to actually overtake them and win the division, but I think they're for sure the second best team in that division, and they're going to be competing for a playoff team. I'm a little bit higher on them. I mean, of course, it's probably a little bit of
but remember,
overreaction.
Their number to make the playoffs wasn't bad at all.
Yeah,
I think that it was right around even. Yeah,
close to even. So yeah, it was good.
Like,
good bet right now.
Conspiracy theory though, was this just like Aaron Rodgers trying to kind of throw the game and be like, like you see,
No,
like, was it a little jab?
It's more of, I think it is a product though of them not being together for a while. Because I mean, Aaron Rodgers just showed up, and all this drama that's been going on. I don't think they necessarily had the most productive offseason.
And when I was watching the game, I was like, you know what? The Packers defense is what I forgot about, and they really haven't had a solid defense in a long time. So when I was watching the game, I think the Saints played a perfect game, so I'm not going to jump on the Saints bandwagon just yet. Maybe it was just one of those games where it's just like when you're playing ball and you're just you're knocking everything down, everything's going in. You
had all summer. You had all summer to game plan for this one team, so you have the good game plan.
Yeah.
I feel you.
But
Rodgers was in Hawaii the whole time.
But
we on vacation.
No, that Rodgers is going to bounce back, man. And I mean, just a little look ahead, but they got the Lions this coming week. And the Lions had their number one DB get injured for the season week 1. So this is definitely a big bounce back spot. This was
a bounce back against.
It was the third worst QB rating that Aaron Rodgers has ever had in his career, bro.
Yeah.
It was the worst QB rating coming off an MVP season anyone's ever had.
That's rowdy. But, I mean, it does make sense because, like Roland said, he wasn't there.
Yeah, and just to cap off, week 1, my biggest, surprise, I guess, was watching the Cardinals completely handle the Tennessee Titans out there. Chandler Jones had 5 sacks, completely owned Taylor Lewin throughout the whole game. Even got Lewin to go out on Instagram and say that he had a bad game and, vowed to get better. Pretty much. And then, Kyler Murray, damn, I mean, I don't want to say he's a better runner than Lamar Jackson, because I think Lamar Jackson's a better, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's close.
Lamar's better 0 to 40 or Lamar's better 0 to 40 and Kyler's better after, I think.
And Kyler, no, I like Kyler better moving around in the pocket. Just watching that play where he was moving around a little bit, and then he ran all the way to the sideline, and then at the last second he took a little dip, and then he just chucked it up to Hopkins. And that's the other takeaway that I had. Hopkins completely balled. He was caught 6 catches for 80-something yards and 2 touchdowns. Kyler Murray had 4 touchdowns on the day. And then the other surprise for me on the other side was the Titans. Their offense wasn't able to get anything going. Much talked about throughout the whole offseason. Julio Jones didn't have a good debut. He only had 3 catches for 29 yards. A.J. Brown, the wide receiver 1 on the other side, 4 catches for 49 yards. A guy named Chester Brown led the Titans in receiving this past week with 62 yards receiving. So not a good day for the Titans offense. And then King Henry, can't go without talking about him when you talk about the Titans. 17 rushes for 58 yards. So the rushing champ was held in check, and that Cardinals defense looks improved. You think J.J. Watt's getting in there and getting guys to be a little bit more, I guess, committed to the X's and O's, maybe paying more attention?
I honestly think that I talked with a buddy earlier this week about this, and the Titans, none of the starters played much of the preseason. Tannehill's coming off of COVID. Their offensive coordinator left to go get a head coaching job. I believe it's Atlanta's head coaching job. So it's a brand new scheme. You got Julio that you're throwing in over there. You have no more Jonnu Smith, who was kind of the safety route. And they gave Derrick Henry his chances down at the goal line, and he got stuffed. So it's not like he didn't have his chances. Now, Chandler Jones had 5 sacks, and now I know Vegas put up a prop. Will Chandler Jones break Michael Strahan's sack record for a single season? So that's what we talk about with overreaction, though. I think you talk about big week 1 overreactions. Like you said it, that lineman, and wasn't it the dude that came over from the Steelers? Wasn't it Villanueva?
He's with the
Yeah,
Ravens.
he's with the Ravens.
He was
so-
getting
Oh,
burnt.
he had a
Yeah.
terrible ass game too
Yeah.
Monday night. But like you said, that lineman went out and said, like, for a guy to go out there and make it public, like, yo, I got my ass whooped today. That was an all-time performance by Chandler Jones, a guy who was kind of disrupted and wanted to. He asked out, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be there. So big time. I don't think that the Cardinals' defense is that good, though. I think it was a lot of Tannehill played like shit. We saw old
And
Tannehill.
maybe NFC West best division in football
That's for
after
sure.
week one. After week
That's
one,
for sure.
gosh,
That's for
dang.
sure.
But yeah, man,
Maybe.
week one, great point in the year right now. Great start to the year. Definitely looking forward to week two, kicking off with the Washington football team and the New York Giants. They always seem to do this, the NFL. They always seem to find a way to give us bad games on Thursday. Like
Oh,
they just
yeah.
so happen to give us Washington football team when
It-
Ryan Fitzpatrick breaks his hip the week before.
It gets
This-
worse, Roland. It gets worse. Trust me. Like
Yeah.
at least we have a meaningful division game here. Next week you got the Panthers against the Texans. It gets
Oh,
worse, buddy.
man.
It gets worse on Thursdays. This is a gift, actually.
We're
Yeah, I
gifting y'all Thursday's entertainment. Fuck the game. Come watch us.
Yeah.
Shit.
And week two, is there anything you guys have circled in week two that you're looking forward to? Other than your team, possibly. I know, Ben, you're looking forward to a Bills bounce back, but
It's a
there's
division game
anything
as
else
well.
against the Dolphins.
I would say the one that I'm looking forward to is the Titans and the Seahawks because they have the Seahawks at 6-point favorites, and
Okay.
I mean the Seahawks are 6-point favorites to the Titans. I think that it's overreaction, but the Seahawks did play the Colts really tough week one, and Russ, let Russ cook. We hear that till week 9. We hear that till week 9, and then after the bye, I don't know what the hell happens to the guy, but he won't receive an MVP vote this year. So let's not start the Russ MVP train. All right, guys, please, let's not start that. But Seahawks -6 at home. The fans will be there, the 12th man or whatever they're called. I think that it's pretty steep for a Titans team that everybody had really high expectations for. I think it's overreaction.
What about you, Just?
Yeah, Bills Dolphins. Just because I saw the line,
I was looking at that
Buffalo's only opening up as a 3-point favorite. Last week there were
That's
6.5 favorites against a better team, the Steelers. So I want to see what they do. Do they bounce back here and get back on track? Because this is one of the teams I put a future on. I had high hopes for them, and I fully do expect them to get back into the winning circle.
The good thing is the Patriots lost in that division as well, Justin, and the Jets aren't a threat. So the Dolphins were the only team that won. If the Bills win this
They're at
game,
the
I mean,
top
the
of the division
division's
right
right. Yeah, the division's right there again.
Yep.
Yeah, a game that I'm kind of looking forward to be honest, is the 49ers and the Eagles. It's a division foe for the Cowboys, and I just really want to see if Jalen Hurts is the real deal because he had a good week one. I think he was supposed to do that against the weak Falcons defense, and I saw an interesting stat going around on Twitter. He already has more 300-yard passing games than Lamar Jackson through only 5 starts.
What side do you lean to with Hurts, Roland? Are you more on the side of you think that he's going to be legit, maybe not fantasy legit and winning wise legit, or
He'll
two
be. I
different
think
things?
he can be a fantasy legit quarterback. I still think he has some bad tendencies. I think he likes to leave the pocket a little early instead of letting the play develop naturally. But hey, if he has the wheels to do it and the instinct to take off when he's supposed to, I'm for it. Because I mean, as a fantasy quarterback, you can only add more with those rushing yards. So I'll take that, and he's going to be good for a couple of rushing touchdowns. Also, they get full reign to be the starter this year. But yeah, I want to see this as a good litmus test, and I want to see exactly how good this Eagles offense can be because they looked kind of explosive against the Falcons. But it is the Falcons. I mean, Devonta Smith looked really good, and I'm worried about having another Philadelphia Eagles running back or receiver that can burn the Cowboys secondary. So
No shit.
I got to keep track of that. Yeah, I got to keep track of them. And what about you, Ron? To cap off our week 2 preview, or what
Before I say what I gotta say, I'm gonna shout out to Big Reenie. That Lions come back to cover though.
We talked about that on the
Oh,
live.
yeah?
Also,
The
we
back
said
door.
Roland said the back door is going to be wide open.
Gross back door.
Bro, Jared Goff is the number 3 ranked fantasy football quarterback after week 1 because he snuck in that back door.
God, bro, that was crazy. So shout out to Reenie for that, man. Because I mean, Didn't they score like 2 touchdowns in like a minute and a half?
Yeah,
or 3
at
minutes
the
or
very
something
end, they
like that?
onside kicked. The 49ers just didn't care anymore, bro. Like, the game was in the bag. They were going to
just giving
win.
the game back away.
The clock just needed to run out, pretty much. That's
Yeah.
where the 49ers were.
And that's the
No,
reason why getting the number really matters, because that score ended 41-33. If you got the line earlier in the week, you probably grabbed 7.5. Like, I think Justin, you had 7.5 or something, right? That's
7.
when
I
you
got
grabbed
at
the
7
line.
when we got on Thursday.
When did you grab it?
Thursday.
On Thursday, right? Yeah. So I mean, the
And it
line
was
moves.
9.5 by kickoff.
Yeah, 9.5 on kickoff when we were talking about it, and we said, hey, that back door is probably going to be open at the end of the game, and that's exactly what happened. It was crazy how it got there with the onside kick, but yeah, thanks for calling that one out, Ron.
Yeah, that was Scott Van Pelt, SVP. That's a bad beat, Scott Van Pelt.
Dude, and it even had people who had the 49ers teased worried because depending again where you got the number, if you got it at 9.5 and you teased it 7 points or 6 points, a touchdown kills you. So
what I look
everybody
forward
was watching those last drives.
just to finish, I'm like making y'all wait. What I look forward to in week 2 is that Sunday night game, man. The Chiefs at the Ravens. We all saw what happened to the Chiefs, and then we all saw what happened with the Ravens. So I think that's going to be an interesting game, man. I mean, maybe the Ravens still put up a good fight. They are playing in Baltimore. The line's only 3.5, which is why that kind of drew me. It's the Chiefs minus 3.5. Yeah, on the road. So, I mean, what would you lean right away? Are you saying, hey, look what the Chiefs did to the Browns and they can come back so easily, and then the Ravens just lost to the Raiders and lost that big lead because they have no answer except for Lamar? So, are like right off the jump, looking at it, do you automatically think Chiefs minus 3.5?
Patrick Mahomes has never lost in the month of September in his career.
Shit.
Just little fun fact.
Look at Justin's face.
Little Ben's trends.
He's never lost in the month of September, Patrick Mahomes.
Awesome
But what I will say is for the Ravens to go 0-2, man, I mean, that they definitely didn't see themselves starting off 0-2, but they were playing a lot of man, a lot of cover zero on Monday night. I know that Peyton Manning was making a big deal about it because it was straight man, but that was against Derek, whatever the hell his name is,
David
Carr. What are you going to do against Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, and Patrick Mahomes, man? I think it could get ugly for the Ravens. I think that they're undermanned. But then again, they would have won that game if Lamar didn't fumble twice.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. So let's see if they can keep clean. They are at home. I think right away you got to think Chiefs, though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bull low on the Ravens, 8-8, 9-7. That would not be good for the guys here. We talking about sports.
No.
Two of us had Ravens winning.
Yeah, so hopefully that doesn't happen. But looking at that game for me, I'm just thinking about the over because I know the Chiefs aren't going to be stopping anybody, and the Ravens defense does not look that strong. I mean, I know a lot of people always draft the Ravens defense in fantasy just off of respect, and I mean they usually are pretty respectable, but they really did not offer much strength, I guess, against the Raiders last week. But anyways, we've been talking about these lines, we've been talking about these games. We have another new intro before we get into this segment. You know, we got a new podcast segment name thanks to one of the listeners last week, Jerry. Got to give him a shout out. We talking about bets, little segment name. We were just calling it the betting segment, but as soon as I pull this up, so without further ado, so here's our new little intro for we talking about bets.
Hey,
Not again with the production.
Hey, check out the cigar. I feel like I'm at Caesars sitting at the sports book, like in front of me with the fucking cigar. You know?
And some sunglasses.
Hey, man, what you going to put on this next game right here, man? Hey, give me 2 G's.
Hey, baby, why don't you run these 2 G's to the window and give me the Washington football team minus 3 tonight, baby?
I love it. I love it.
Bro.
That's good.
Hey, and so we did our little super contest. We went to the cheers. We went to the books last week, and we put in our 3 bets each. Justin, myself, and Ben, and we even had Rick join in, and he threw in some bets. And let's just say, Justin's off to a good start. And
The dogs are barking, man.
He's got a 2-game lead on us. Justin, you hit
wow.
with the Niners -7.5, the Rams -7, and you lost with the Bills -6, which I think the Bills ruled a lot of people's plays on Sunday.
Yeah.
I went 0-3. I lost on the Jags
Nice.
terribly. That game was bad. Jags -3. Never again betting on a team like that.
Nice.
Pats -3. They had the game in hand until a late fumble. Damian Harris. Washington football team. Ryan Fitzpatrick goes down early. That's a loss, but they still competed throughout. But got to take my L there. I went 0-3. Ben 0-3 also. Titans -3.
Do we know, guys? Come
Dude,
on.
hold on. No, but listen.
Okay,
I was
listen,
a victim of.
listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda. So the Titans completely off. They got smacked. Let's get that one out of the way.
All right.
Now the Vikings. When does Dalvin Cook ever fumble in the fucking red zone? Out of all places.
Yeah.
He fumbled in overtime in the red zone or late in the fourth quarter, one of the two. That game was in the bag. And then the New England game, I had them as well. And then Harris fumbles in the red zone on the game-winning drive. I mean, what can you do? The bounces didn't go my way week 1. We're going to get back on track, though. But I'm not very discouraged just because, like I said, 2 red zone fumbles by running backs cost me the spread. All right, man. All right.
All right. Well, guys, I went 0-3 because I didn't fucking put it.
Because you didn't wake up. Did you even set fantasy lineups?
I think so, but Wednesday.
Oh, all right. Just because it was week 1.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah,
all
just
right.
because it was week 1. No, but I'm not shit. I thought I was gonna be man, I'm gonna be way behind when we start tallying all the scores. But
We might as well not put our bets in.
Yeah,
We might as well have all overslept, Ron.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
when my boys here both go 0-3, then I'm right there with you. So
Justin with the early lead. We're gonna get
Justin
back
with the
on
early
track
lead.
this week.
All right.
Let's get into Thursday. Let's get into tonight's game.
Yeah, well, hold on. I just want to go over the teasers and the survivor pool real quick. The teasers, I hit mine. We gave out the Rams and the 49ers. That hit if you guys took it. And
I took
Ben
it.
had his 3-point tease, 3-team 10-point teaser that went down to the wire and it lost because of the Falcons. They couldn't score more than 6
Dude,
points.
Falcons.
in the hook.
Captain Hook got me. I lost by the hook.
Dang, so not a lot hit in week 1, but we did survive. We did survive that Bet King Survivor Pool week 1. We did go with the Rams, and I think we already got our week 2 pick solidified. I think we've already been talking about it in the group chat, so we'll give that out on Sunday though. But on to Thursday, the game that's going to be played today. We got the Washington football team. I think they're on the road. They're playing in. They're at home. Okay, excuse me. They're at home. They're 3.5-point favorites against the New York Giants. It's an NFC East tilt. Who do you guys like here? First reaction or looking at the line, just -3.5.
I hate the line.
Before we start talking about the game, Roman, over under 2 people calling the Washington football team the R word the rest of the show. Over under 2.
Under, because I already got it out of my system. I was
Under,
calling
yeah,
them
me too.
the R word
you
a lot.
didn't do it, but Ron,
Justin's the only one. No,
no,
Justin's the only
Ron's
one.
drinking tequila, so it's gonna slip from
No,
Ron
it
once.
is.
Yeah, if I say it, it'll slip just because it's ingrained.
Yeah,
I
and
just
so
can't get used to the other one.
So you don't like the line, Justin? What don't you like about the line?
Well, because I was looking at it yesterday, and at 3 was at -120. I didn't like it even then. It's a little too much juice to me. Yeah. And then at 3.5, that's even worse. I'm going to stay away from this one myself. There's other bets I would do, like player props to look at, but
as far
as the spread, I don't like it.
Okay.
Initially, my first one was let's take Barkley under, but now he's on a snap count again today, and they're not giving it out on most books for that prop, so I have to stay away from it. The other one I do like, though, is Daniel Jones anytime touchdown scorer because he gives you 2 options. He can throw the ball or he can run it himself, and they do dial up some plays for him. And I believe he can at least get 1 touchdown, so I like that one.
They only scored 1 last week, and it was on the final drive of the game.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ron. What do you think about tonight's game? I know you have action, right?
Yeah, I took teaser, boys. So I took – are we going to the board? Is it time to go to the board?
Go to the board. Put it on the board.
Put it on the board. All right, so we're teasing the Washington football team under Ben.
He almost said it. He thought
No, I
of it.
did. Washington football team plus 2.5 and under 46.5. So I think, from what I'm hearing and what we've all been talking about, I think Washington wins this game, and then getting 2 points looks great to me. I don't think the Giants do much. They played a similar style of defense. Last week they played a tough defense, so I think the defense holds Washington football team in the game. Heineke isn't much of a drop-off from Fitzmagic. I think Gibson's still good enough to create a solid run game. Hopefully Scary Terry goes off, because I'm kind of debating on whether to start him or sit him tonight.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
But also, whenever it's a division rival, man, the games usually tend to play to that under. They're gritty games. They're field advantage games to where maybe they don't go for it on fourth downs, things like that. So
some punts from the 35-yard line,
some
I'm sure.
punts from the 35, yeah.
Instead of going for it. But
Exactly.
even then, like the total set at 40, that's one of the lower totals that we won't see 40 many times. Is Rennie a Giants fan, or is Rennie just think that the Giants are going to win?
I think
Yeah.
maybe he's a betting man. He likes the Giants money line.
Yeah.
But what team does he root for?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he's a Cowboys fan. You're putting me on the spot, so if I get it wrong, it's gonna be.
And if anybody's
Rennie.
interested in where the bets are going, 61% of the bets right now are on the Washington football team, with 66% of the money. So Washington is taking the majority of the bets right now. That's where I lean, especially with them at home.
Oh yeah, Lions.
Did I say the Lions or the Washington football
No,
team?
no.
Rennie
My
commented.
bad. I'm not
We're talking about
looking at the
Big
bottom. My bad.
Alright.
But yeah, I like the Washington football team. I don't know about the hook at -3.5.
Yeah, I hate that fucking.
But I would like them in a money line parlay, possibly, if you guys want to start an open money line parlay. I know Ben suggested that earlier, but that is something that you guys can look into if you're listening out there. But other than betting, we also do something here called fantasy football, right?
Yeah.
So let's get into some starts and sits.
I think
Or actually, no, my bad. I'm sorry, I'm going rogue again. Excuse me. We have some props to give out, don't we?
Yeah. We have picks on the game, rolling.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
my
have picks.
bad.
Here they come.
Ooh, you prepped it like it's hot, Justin.
See, I went off the screen.
Alex says Daniel Jones is 4-0 against the Washington football team, but he's 0-3 on Thursday night. What gives?
Well,
He
I saw
hasn't
that
won
to
any
answer-
primetime game yet.
To answer
Yeah.
Alex's question too, he is 4-0 against Washington, but I think 2 of those games, or even 3 of those games, was when they were still like switching out quarterbacks. One quarterback would play like a half, and then another quarterback would play the second half. So it wasn't against the solid Washington football
Well,
team.
I mean,
It
they're
was
still
like-
switching quarterbacks. I mean, we got Camara.
But no. But like,
I
do you
think
remember
that the-
those seasons? But
No, yeah, I
like,
feel
do you
you.
remember those
And-
seasons when they were like changing quarterbacks every quarter,
Yeah.
like halves and shit like that?
And they also didn't have the defense that they have now. And I mean, honestly, the Washington football team starting off 0-2, I think that's big time panic button for them. To be honest, Daniel Jones, 18 fumbles since he got into the league in 2019.
Yeah.
Never fumbled against the Washington football team, for whatever that's worth. But I know that Justin liked their defensive line a lot coming into the season. I mean, you got Clowney, you got Myles Garrett. I'm talking about the Browns. You got
I was like, what's he talking about my Browns?
No. You got Young. The defensive rookie of the year. So I think it's going to be a bad night for Daniel Jones as well. I tend to lean, even fantasy wise and for my props, towards the Washington football team side.
For sure.
So just based on our props, for me tonight, Gibson over 71.5 rushing yards. He got 20 carries week 1. He went for 90 yards. The Washington football team only dropped back to pass 20 times in week 1. Yeah. Now, I know that they didn't expect Fitzpatrick to get hurt, but Heineke, 20 times dropped back. I think Gibson's going to get a lot of work tonight. And we saw Melvin Gordon gash, the New York Giants week 1. He busted out a 70-yarder. Williams got his 40. So I expect Gibson to have a big night tonight. And Looks like Roland does too.
Yeah, I like Gibson to get a touchdown today. Gibson anytime TD scorer. When I took it earlier today, it was minus 135. So Vegas obviously favors him to get a touchdown tonight, and much for the same reason as what Ben talked about. You know, he's getting the volume. He had 20 carries last week. He's going to get the volume again today. It's kind of disappointing because we'll talk about fantasy here in a little bit. I'm a Terry McLaurin owner, but I do think for this week especially, and the more and more I think about it, I think that the Washington football team is going to go run heavy to protect Heineke and give him another week probably to get acclimated into the offense before they go full reign next Sunday. So I'm looking for a heavy load of Antonio Gibson and for him to get a touchdown.
Oh, are you?
Yes, sir.
Pause. Hey, we gotta get one of those to show. We gotta get the pause. Are you?
What about you, Ron?
All right. So to segue into that, I'm gonna answer Bull's question. Logan Thomas over or under 10 fantasy points. Mr. Bull, I am a Logan Thomas fantasy owner, and I do have him running tonight in my lineup. I think with the new quarterback, you're not gonna trust him a lot to throw those deep balls, and you're probably going to give him quick throws, little slants, maybe little, dump offs to the tight end. He's a good goal line guy. As last week, he had a touchdown with, I think, 3 catches and 30 yards. Yeah. So he is a goal line guy. I would take the over 10 fantasy points for Logan Thomas. I mean, just if you're playing a PPR league, especially too, I mean, you might even see him with up to 4 catches tonight, so you would only get 6. But to segue into that, to my prop, I'm going to go with the quarterback of his team, Heineke, under 22.5 rushing yards. Again, it's just whenever there's a new QB, you never see the coach give him too much responsibility. It's going to be a lot of workload on Gibson tonight, just like you guys said. So I do see a lot of handoffs, maybe a lot of dump offs. A lot of short passes. They're not going to want to get this guy in trouble rushing the ball. He is their backup quarterback. So the last thing you want to do is, run a play for him where he might get hurt. Then you got to go to the third string. So I would say under 22.5 for Heineke as my prop of the night.
Mark Chapa with a question. Roland, we'll segue to fantasy here. You're a heavy Terry McLaurin owner. He asked, would you consider trading Terry McLaurin for a high-end fantasy quarterback, i.e. Aaron Rodgers?
Hell
I
yeah!
don't know if I would trade for Aaron Rodgers just because maybe it's an overreaction. I'm just not going to be as high on the Packers after what I'm seeing. And
maybe not Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but I would package Scary Terry for a quarterback or for a big quarterback if you can, depending on your wide receiver depth. Because for me, as much as it pains me to say it, I have him slotted as a wide receiver too. Scary Terry. I think he takes a little bit of a hit with Heineke until he can prove otherwise. And Scary Terry for most of his career has been quarterback proof. He caught touchdowns, he played with 4 different quarterbacks last year, Heineke being one of them. So maybe they have some rapport. That playoff game that Heineke started, Scary Terry had 6 catches for 73 yards. Didn't get a touchdown, but Heineke was just like playing in the AFL or whatever before the XFL before that. So not too much experience there. So hopefully they have a little bit more rapport together, and I'm wrong. But I would trade Scary Terry if you're deep at receiver and you can get a quarterback out of it that you need.
Let me throw some names at you.
Yeah.
Scary Terry for Jalen Hurts.
Shoot, depending what your current quarterback situation is right now, I might be looking at Jalen Hurts because I have Jalen Hurts finishing as a quarterback 1 throughout the rest of the year based on what he looks like. So
Scary Terry for Justin Herbert?
Nah, I'd chill there because I have Herbert in 2 out of my 3 leagues, and he did well, but he didn't go off. So I would still hold on to Scary Terry because he could have a breakout game tonight.
He could have a breakout game, but I think for me
create that rapport with
his over/under tonight is set at 76.5 yards and over 5.5 receptions. So they are expecting him to get some work.
But I actually saw a guy who took his under catches prop and over yards because he's more of a deep guy. So you might see 3 or 4 catches tonight, maybe even 5. So that way you could lose by that hook, but still hit that yardage prop because he's bound to get a deep ball.
For sure.
I'm not completely off of him as a Terry owner also, but if I needed a quarterback, I think that's a good piece. And it's kind of like in between. It's early in the season where if he has 3 shitty games, I mean, he's not going to have any trade value at all. Like, yeah, you're going to have to move your standards down a lot. So, with Tannehill at QB, I wouldn't panic yet, Mark, to be honest. Give Tannehill this week. Let's see what he does against the Seahawks secondary. They're not too good themselves.
Yeah. So, okay, staying on the Scary Terry topic, real quick, if we want to talk fantasy, start him or sit him. I have Scary Terry, obviously, but then I have Tyler Lockett going against Tennessee and T. Higgins going against Chicago. And then I got Antonio Brown Boomin going against Atlanta. And I have Brandon Ayuk going against Philly.
I would play AB over Scary Terry. I would.
Okay. I wouldn't play Ayuk either.
Yeah, Justin? I'm really big on AB. I think that AB is going to finish top 20 in fantasy this season.
I like AB, but I would still start Scary Terry over AB this week just because he's wide receiver. He's still wide receiver.
Guys, I don't know, guys.
I think he'll still get the volume, and there's a lot of mouths to feed in Tampa. Although they're capable of probably feeding all of
the connection.
Okay, but I still have Tyler Lockett, T. Higgins, and Brandon Ayuk. And Kareem Hunt.
I think you have to start Tyler Lockett, and then I would go AB over Terry myself, but it's close. I think that either one, I think you'll be all right. But I mean, Terry's the number one. Terry's the number one.
Yeah.
But the Bucs is the better offense.
Okay, what league is this in, Ron? What league is this in? I can't be helping you in this league. That's
true. You got a matchup against Roland coming up this week in the fantasy.
This is the Mission Southside K White League. So you guys aren't in that.
I would go AB.
Shout out to Javi Cedillo. What up, Hirsch?
Yeah, I would go AB and Lockett.
You would go AB and Lockett?
Yeah. Logan Thomas, though, Roland, do you have him getting over 10 fantasy points?
I like Logan Thomas. I feel like these quarterbacks that don't have a lot of experience, so they'll favor the tight ends. Logan Thomas, he didn't get a lot of work last week, but I do have a big I think he will get over 10 points. And he's actually the question that I have here for a starter sit from a friend. Kenny Golladay or Logan Thomas at the flex? What do you consider that?
At the flex?
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
Yeah. It is tough. I would say neither. Personally, if I had to,
you gotta choose one, though.
Yeah, you gotta choose one. You gotta choose one.
Obviously, I gotta choose one. If I had to choose one, I don't think that the Giants are gonna have much success running the ball. So I think that Kenny Golladay and Sterling Shepard are gonna get some looks. I would go Golladay.
Okay.
What up, Rick?
What up, Rick?
What about you, Justin? What do you?
I know, Justin. Give us some input. If you want to still do it on my Scary Terry play, you're more than welcome.
We do have another fantasy question that we can get to, though. It's one of the grab bags for today. Joey Daly was asking Saquon Barkley at Washington or Chase Edmonds at Minnesota.
What was it again? Say it again.
Saquon today at Washington or Chase or Edmonds versus Minnesota.
I would sit Barkley one more week. I'm not completely out on Barkley. I think he's going to be a buy low candidate for a lot of people, especially I think after this week, because I know Justin. I know you said he might be on a pitch count, but I saw something saying that they're going to fully unleash him tonight on my app. That's what I saw. That's what I read. Another pause moment, I know, but I don't think it's going to matter because the Washington football team still has a stout defense, and I'm not expecting him to do much this week. But I would go with Edmonds over Barkley this week.
100%.
I wouldn't be out on Barkley though.
100%. I would go with Edmonds. I had another buddy ask me on Facebook as well.
Who was he? Shut him out, man.
Danny Cadu, my barber. Shout out, not Papi. I'm not even gonna say that.
He was calling him Papi Chulo.
Nah. That's a barber shop in Mission. Shout out Goodfellas Barbershop on 23rd in McAllen. That's Danny's barbershop. He was my barber from back in the valley. But he plays a lot of fantasy football, and he asked me, Mitchell, the San Francisco 49ers running back, or Saquon Barkley. And I told him without a fucking doubt, you go Mitchell over Saquon. I've told you all plenty of times I wouldn't touch Saquon with a 10-foot pole in the draft. And I still think you don't have to pause that, right? It's a 10-foot pole. I ain't touching him at all. So no, I'm out on Saquon. Saquon he's roadkill. He's roadkill.
Yeah,
Danny come through, Mark. Hell yeah, I know Danny.
I like
So
Alex's question.
he's not even a buy low for you.
Not a buy low. He's a fam. I would take Harris, the Patriots running back, over Saquon Barkley. Like he's dead. He's dead.
He's all out.
Overblown.
He's
That's
all
a little
out.
overblown.
He's dead to me.
You would take Le'Veon Bell over him?
Nah, that I wouldn't do.
That's a little crazy. It's a little crazy.
Hey, I like Alex's question. Brady over Winston, right? He said it's a no-brainer, but what do we think?
Yeah, I go Brady this week. I want to see Winston do it one more time. And like Ben said, or whoever was talking about it earlier, I know Justin broke down the Saints game, but he only threw the ball 21 times. But this is another Thursday question: Andrews or Logan Thomas tight end?
Andrews didn't do much on Monday night.
Mark Chapa Andrews?
I'll go Logan Thomas.
Logan Thomas is that guy this year, man. I was very heavy on him. I have him in one of my fantasy leagues. I think his time is now. And besides Scary Terry, I mean, if you don't go deep, what are you going to do? Check down. And who are you going to check down to? Your tight end who has solid hands and is a great goal line tight end, which is what people don't talk about enough.
I'm going to go with Andrews just because I think the Ravens are going to be playing from behind against the Chiefs. And I was never a fan of Logan Thomas when he was a quarterback at Virginia Tech and overthrowing everybody because he was so tall, and I ain't a fan of him in the NFL either. So I'll go with Andrews.
Oh, Andrews and all the drops he had?
Yeah, he did have a lot of drops, but against the Chiefs, I think that the flow of the game and the play calling is just going to be a lot of passing. So he'll have looks.
We'll see. This is an
episode
to come back and look on and see who has a total.
Yeah, and we saw Waller and the Ravens do a lot of work. I mean, we saw Waller and the Raiders do a lot of work with the tight end on the Ravens. So
yeah, but Waller was their only option.
Yeah, true.
Yep. Well, yeah. I mean, is there any other questions that you guys want to get to, or any other start sits that you guys have for Thursday night before we wrap up fantasy? Justin,
we can talk a little bit about what we got right and what we got wrong as well.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and hit that before we wrap up starter sit. So we had a couple of questions. I know there was a lot more than what I'm going to highlight. If you guys think of anything after I'm done going through this, go ahead and chime in. But we got a couple questions last week. One of them was Josh Jacobs versus Kenyon Drake, and I think we all went Josh Jacobs. And Josh Jacobs went. He went pretty steady last week with 17 points in PPR. Another one we got right was Brandon Cooks versus Taj Boyd in the flex PPR. Cooks, he had about 18 PPR points last week, came through. And then
he's going to be a number one. He's a number one on that team. So Cooks is going to finish, top 25 in the receivers.
Just because of that crazy cat he had, though. That was good.
And Taj Boyd, I don't think he's going to be down for the whole year, but there's also two other receivers in that offense got to get to, along with Joe Mixon. So, like Ben just got done saying, Brandon Cooks is the best weapon on that whole offense. So, going to get a lot of shine for the Texans throughout the year.
And shout out to the Bengals coming in overtime and almost giving us the first tie. If that guy misses that field goal,
fuck the Bengals, bro. The Vikings should have won that game, and I should have covered
I'm in the pocket like Burrow.
Yeah, I was a little sad watching that Vikings game, especially when Justin Jefferson got tackled at the half-yard line. That really bummed me out. That should have been a touchdown for my fantasy team, but it's whatever. But we also got a question on Rojo. Justin, do you remember who the question was?
It was Josh.
It just starter sit Rojo? You just wanted to know if starter or sit him?
We butchered that.
That was me. I'll take full responsibility for the whole show. I want these three guys to walk clean on this. I'll take all
Judge Ben right here.
All right.
No, but last Thursday's show, we called the game to a T pretty much. I mean, we said that the Tampa Bay receivers were going to go off, and they did. We said it was going to be a close game.
AB.
Yeah, AB went
off.
Not
Mike Evans.
I mean, not Mike Evans. Fucking Mike Evans. No, but we called that. We said it was a high-scoring game. The wide receivers were going to go off for Tampa Bay, and Dallas was going to have the spread. And I think we were pretty spot on. You hit the CeeDee Lamb pick, Ben. Remember that?
Yeah.
So we also hit the Zeke under rushing as well. So hey, boys, I mean we're good on Thursday nights, man. So
tonight the props they're gonna come down, but yeah, that Rojo. I think that there's gonna, and he asked us another question that we'll get to on Sunday about Rojo as well. Listen, we'll get into that, but I was completely wrong on Rojo. But if I like a running back, they're gonna fumble the ball, man. Yeah. If I like a running back, they're gonna fumble the ball. Like it seems like everybody that I was backing this weekend, those running backs fumbled. And you know that coach hates running backs fumbling.
Yeah, he just came out and said that all three of their running backs are starters. He said that Rojo, Leonard Fournette, and Gio Bernard are all starters.
And that's because Fournette was dropping balls all game, and then he caught that crucial one when he went against fucking.
He dropped the one that came into a pick. So like, they all had their mess ups.
Yeah,
but
I said he was cool with chilling on the bench and the sidelines. I remember being that. He started the game, got all these carries. Like, nah, Baron. All y'all are all way up.
He's rocking that number 7. But yeah, that was our little recap for Starter Sit-em. Again, we get those questions from you guys. Some of those came in during the live show. Others were, given throughout the week when we posted. So we got some posts out there if you guys want to chime in. So we'll get to them more in depth on Sunday. We just covered the ones that were Thursday related. And if you guys have more again on Sunday, get to them. And, we'll get it on here on the podcast. What time are we going to go on Sunday? 10 o'clock, right? 10 o'clock, right?
Anything else? I'm putting on the board here, guys.
Put up, because that way we'll come back to them Sunday, but put the props that we took on the board. If we can just put the bets that we took for tonight one more time on the screen.
Where can you play these, Ron?
Oh, you guys can take care of this because I gotta copy the props.
Yeah, y'all can hit up Bet King on Twitter, man. They're still doing that promotion. We'll be talking about sports, a little collab. But hit up Bet King. Like we said, we're doing their Survivor pool. I know there's several people that listen to the podcast are in there and in the Survivor pool as well. That's where we all play, man. They're good people. They pay out. They take care of us. And they got a good promotion if
instant payouts too.
Yeah, they got a good promotion if you tell them we talking about sports sent you. So hit them up.
Tell them Blanco sent you.
Tell them Blanco sent you. Benny Blanco from the Bronx.
And and moving on, and I guess we'll wrap up with this. A little lighthearted discussion about our fantasy football league. We talking about sports. Week 1 is in the books.
Yeah.
I guess the main question, Ben had a little question going into the week is why don't we have Fab for getting free agents?
Yeah,
just a continuation of last year. We didn't have it last year, and we have some of the players coming over again. I didn't want to change it up on them.
Those rules definitely changed from last year to this year, but okay.
Peaky Blindsiders, 0-1.
It started with the commissioner not getting the first pick.
Yeah, it started with the commissioner not getting the first pick. Man, I took it. Look, it's sad when Wally,
who did I lose to?
Wally, who didn't even make the draft, Mr. Auto Draft, ends up getting a win straight off. That's what's sad. So, but then again, I think that he played, I don't know who he played, but they only scored 94 points. Yeah. So he did play the lowest scoring, person in the league.
Josh.
I played the highest scoring person in the league this week.
And
I was the second highest scoring person in the league.
You said you thought you had already won, and then you went and checked on like Monday or Tuesday.
I checked
Roland
Tuesday.
was winning. The Ravens kicker knocks that field goal, or the Vegas Raiders knocks that field goal.
Carlson
gets above Roland in the very end to win. Otherwise, Roland was going to win that game.
So if they don't go to OT, you win. But they went to OT, so you lost.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I lost by 1.4 point or 1.04 points.
And it was like a 40 or 50 yarder, Roland. So had it been like just from 20 or 30, it would have been 3 points. You might have tied or won. That's a bad loss to have. That's a bad beat.
Yeah, it's all right. But on to next week against.
I got my ass kicked. I got my ass kicked by Rick Torres, who's in the chat, who's a good member of the show. The Alcatraz Escapees, I lost 138 to 103. Even if I start my optimal lineup, I still don't fucking beat him, man. I started Gage for the Falcons, who put up a fucking donut, projected 15 points, and he put up 0.
Even if I dropped him.
Even if I start Malcolm Brown or Keenan Allen, who I had on my bench, I don't know why, I still lose. This coming week,
Why? You don't know why? Because you overslept, Ron. That's why Keenan Allen was on your bench.
No, I know, but I'm saying even if I start my optimal lineup,
I feel you.
I still lose to him because he had Debo, and we all know Debo went off.
Yeah.
For this upcoming week, I have a scrub named High, Roland.
Oh, we got a little podcast showdown.
Podcast
Week
showdown.
Week 2, get it out of the way.
Week 2, Roland's projected at 120 points. I'm projected at 111.
It's a bye week, Roland. It's a bye week, Roland.
I do have
All right, set and forget.
against Roland tonight, though. I do have Gibson, and everybody was talking about Gibson on the podcast.
Yeah.
So,
Roland had him getting in. Roland had him getting in.
Roland
Right
had him getting in.
Right there.
So we'll see. Projected score 120 to 111. Me and Roland, we talking about sports team going against each other this week. I have Gibson tonight. So
Me and Ben this week.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no!
Showdown.
Wow, let's go!
Oh
The
shit!
podcast is at war.
Run it!
Hey, who set up this bracket, man?
Yeah.
Come on.
What's
Who
the
set up
projected?
bracket?
Projected
There might
here.
not be
What's
a
the
podcast
projected
next week.
What is our projection, Justin?
Yeah,
Hey, if I beat Justin, I can guarantee he won't show up.
I'll be here. I'll be
Nah,
here.
Ben won't show up if he gets trounced.
Nah, I always show up, baby. I always show up.
Oh my goodness. Well, hey, we're
Ben,
at
you
war this
projected
week.
136 to my 135.
Woo! That's a bye week. That's another bye week, Roland. That's a bye week.
Ram Bam is Sanchez,
Camara.
Andrew Sanchez.
Andrew Sanchez out of Arizona.
Yeah, repping the Rams. Repping the
New
Rams.
Mexico. Where is he? Arizona?
Kingman, Arizona.
Yeah.
Go look
Oh,
up
yeah.
that city if you have a chance.
Keenan, Arizona.
No, Kingman. It's famous for being on a show with that guy from Borat.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
He had that
wow.
Showtime Ali G.
Yeah.
What was y'all's biggest fantasy hit this week?
That I started?
Cooper.
Yeah, that you started.
Amari Cooper.
Cooper AB. I made a minute before kickoff. I threw AB in my starting lineup in place of Robert Woods and in place
Nice.
of Deontay Johnson, and it ended up paying off.
Good hit, cuz.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Debo Samuel, though, I had him on my bench, and I'm curious. I think that Debo's got to answer some questions for us, and I think that he's going to
I
have
got
a
you.
opportunity.
Sorry, go Roland.
Oh, I was just gonna say I just traded Debo Samuel in one of my leagues.
Roland, you sold high. All right, I respect it.
Yeah.
You sold
Hey,
high.
I mean,
Two.
I
got-
don't know if I sold high enough though.
What did you get?
You guys tell me. So maybe this is a little recency bias because I really liked how he looked
Henderson.
on Sunday night. Oh yeah, pause again. I'm sorry, guys. Oh my girlfriend's not watching. Daryl Henderson. I got Daryl Henderson and Jarvis Landry for Debo and Kareem Hunt.
Ooh, Roland, you lost that.
Oh,
trade.
you lost that trade.
You lost that
Dude.
trade, Roland.
Hey,
I
wait,
think
wait,
it's
wait.
even,
Did we
bro.
just? Hey, wait.
You-
Did we
It's
just?
even,
wait,
bro.
I don't love it, Roland. I don't.
One more time.
Daryl
repeat it.
Daryl Henderson is a running back one.
Did we
Okay,
just
so
come
you
up?
got-
Did we
you
just
got-
come up with a new segment?
Hold
we just
on,
go for
Ron.
the new
Hold
segment?
on, Ron. Let's just get the trade clear one more time. You got Daryl Henderson and
Jarvis Landry.
Jarvis Landry, number one for the Browns right now because OBJ
Yes,
is
because
a
Odell's hurt. Hey, and
Or-
Henderson did go off Sunday night, Ben. You can't say he
He
didn't.
did. He
Two
did.
RB2s
Catching
switching
and
RB1 or wide receiver
catching
ones.
and rushing.
Daryl
and-
Henderson's a running back one in his offense.
Okay,
So I
and-
think, Roland,
who
I
did you
think
give up?
you just got to
Roland.
go down to one thing. Do you value Landry more than you value Samuel? If you do, then it's a good trade.
Dude, but I value Henderson more than I value Kareem Hunt. I think that's
I think
where
that's
I'm
about
looking.
even. I really
I think
that's
I think that's
Nah,
even.
man, I mean-
even.
No.
I'm more on the
think-
receiver.
Kareem Hunt had less than 10 carries last week. I mean, I know he's going to get the receptions, but Daryl Henderson gets both, I think. So
But he
I don't
still
know.
got in the
We'll
end
see.
zone, didn't he?
No, I think
Yeah,
that
he got in the
you
end
want-
zone. That's how
I
he made
think
the
that you
payday.
wanted the receiver side. I think that you
he's
wanted
gonna
the
get in the
receiver
end
side.
zone, cuz.
We'll see.
Honestly,
It's close.
I
Honestly,
think you
It's
wanted
a lot
the
closer than we
receiver
made
side
it sound.
because Debo Samuel went stupid off.
Yeah,
And
you sold
so-
really high there.
And
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
do you
I'm
think?
selling high.
Yeah. So
We'll see. Maybe he's a consistent wide receiver one, and I missed out on him. So we'll see. But I'm
My
deep at
two-
receiver in that league, I think. So
My two biggest fantasy takeaways were I was in the Madero League this year again, Ben, as you know, the Madero League, and my shit was fucked up. So I got an auto draft pick, and it was but I couldn't be mad because I was gonna go after a quarterback anyway. But I think I was gonna take Lamar, and it gave me Kyler Murray. So hey, I'll take that.
That's a big break. That's a big break.
33.56 points in the first week. And another sleeper. I was huge on the Chargers when we talked about the divisional games. And you guys, I know somebody made a little comment about wide receiver 2, Big Mike Williams. You know, hey, he went off. He had 22.2 points. And I said that Herbie was going to be throwing it around. So, hey, I'm good in that league. But
Mike Williams has another shot at having a big week against the Cowboys this week.
I'm telling you guys, he's the one.
I think you got to start Mike Williams flex.
What about you, Josh? What was your big hit this week?
Amari Cooper.
Oh, that's right. You said
Opening night, 38 points. I think I cleared with him.
Got it
Wide
out of the way.
receiver 1.
Got it out of the
He
way.
said he was the best receiver in the league, and he's ranked the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy after 1 week. Maybe he was right, guys. Maybe he was right.
Love to see it.
We'll see. Anything else you guys want to get to today before we wrap up?
That's it. Finito.
That's it, man. Sunday, what are we doing on Sunday? When can you catch us at where?
You tell us, Ron. What are we doing, Ron? You tell
No,
us.
y'all tell me because I wasn't here.
Can we count on you this Sunday? 10
Yeah, you can
a.m. 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.?
Count on me and the Troy Aikman Dallas cap. Check this out.
All right. Well, this Sunday,
Super Bowl 30.
Nice.
that's clean. That's clean.
That's
That is
clean.
good.
Hey, Super Bowl 30 happened on my birthday, bro.
Nice.
So,
Like on your birthday, like when you were born.
my birthday, January 28th.
But when you were born, or how old were you?
Oh, no way. The Super Bowl 30 was in 1997, 98, I believe. So I was like 10 years old. But I'm saying like it happened on my birthday.
Gotcha.
That's the last time the Cowboys had their Super Bowl was that year. And this when Aikman wore this cap on the sideline. So boom.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. Well,
I
we're
think
gonna break
that's
down the Cowboys
all
on
for us though today, right, guys?
Yep. Sunday,
That's
10 a.m.
Sunday, 10 a.m. Set your alarms. Be there.
Set your
Nice.
alarm, Ron. Go look in the mirror and say,